Sir, why is he not welcome on a public sidewalk?
Get the camera out of my face. Get that camera out of my face or I will take it from you, okay?
So right about here is where I'm being pepper sprayed.
And I get your phone. Actually, you get it. Here you go.
And he films me suffering from the pepper spray. I wanted to give a general recap of what happened in Dearborn, Michigan as I saw it through my eyes. So I, of course, went to Dearborn the day before this protest. Okay, there were two sides to the protest. There was one side, Anthony Hudson, who had planned this march against Sharia law. He then went to a bunch of mosques and then claimed there was no Sharia law, apologized and capitulated to the Muslims of Dearborn, Michigan. And there was Jake Lang, who was a little bit more audacious in the other direction, the more extreme direction, who said that he was going to burn Qurans, he was going to bring bacon, etc. Now, I'm not with either of these people. Neither of these people am I associated with or anything like that. I'm a journalist. I'm there to document. Of course, I have opinions, right? And my opinion doesn't necessarily align with either of them, right? I think they're both wrong in their own right a little bit. Okay? So anyway, I went to Dearborn, Michigan the night before, and I wanted to scout. I don't like going into places that I'm unfamiliar with, and so I wanted to know what Dearborn was all about before I got there. So we went up and down Michigan Avenue. Nothing really happened. Nothing crazy, at least. We got the emojis going in chat. Thanks, Mama G. Members have access to emojis. Everybody should have access to them, who's a member at least. So I got stopped by a couple people, lots of people filming, etc. Let me know if you guys have access to those emojis, if you remember. And things got weird very quickly. A drone started following me everywhere I went. It went forward, backwards. I walked in weird patterns. It followed literally everywhere I went. Okay. Cars would begin slow following us, etc. Very weird, very unwelcoming. There were lots of people watching my live stream. Somebody in a car actually followed us and then pulled up to us and started talking to us, and he had my live stream on his phone in my hand. Okay. Very weird, very unwelcoming. Felt like 13 hours in Benghazi. Everybody knew what was happening except us. Okay. The drone was following us in a threatening way. It was following about 15 feet above my head and following everywhere I went directly above my head. There's no need for that. Nobody surveilling somebody does that. The only reason you do that is to intimidate somebody. I know I have a drone right in front of me, and I use it frequently. Right? It's actually harder to surveil somebody when you're following them that closely because you're controlling the sticks and not the camera. So the next day, the protest came around. Jake Lang and Anthony Hudson don't like each other. The first thing Jake Lang does is he gets out and he graffitis "cuck" onto a RV that has Anthony Hudson's face on it. That RV belongs to somebody who used to work for Anthony Hudson and switched sides to Jake Lang's side after Hudson did his apology. Lang's people marched over to the counter-protest side. The counter-protesters were already there before any of the actual protesters were there. They walked over to the counter-protesters with crosses, big crosses over their shoulders, and they confronted those protesters. It was very tense. There was some pushing and shoving and lots of yelling. Then they went back over to their side of the street. I crossed with them, and then I went back where I saw somebody in America First hat being harassed. And I asked why on earth this person was being harassed. They were telling him that he had no right to be there, he wasn't welcome, etc. And so I asked, well, why isn't this person welcome here? Why is this person not allowed to be here? And I was told, get that camera out of my face or I will take it from you. The person then shoved up into me, went chest to chest with me, and tried to knock my camera out of my hand or take it. And I pushed them back. Okay. And then after I got pushed back, I was pepper sprayed. And I've learned a lot about being pepper sprayed. I've been pepper sprayed, maced a lot. So I know how to react. You have to slow your breathing down, get your heart rate down, make sure you don't have a panic attack or freak out. It's only going to make things worse. And you have to force your eyes open. Your eyes at this point are being involuntarily closed. So you have to force them open so you can get a bearing on your surroundings. And so that's exactly what I did. I've had to do it before. I'm going to play the video for you now.
Sir, why is he not welcome on a public sidewalk?
Get the camera out of my face. Get that camera out of my face or I will take it from you, okay?
So right about here is where I'm being pepper sprayed. So this is now one of the protesters, one of the Muslim protesters, picking my phone back up.
Phone right here. Is this his phone? Yeah. All right, guys. He just got pepper sprayed for attacking and assaulting someone. No.
He doesn't even know what happened. See.
You're not get your phone. Actually, you get it. Here you go.
And he films me suffering from the pepper spray.
There we go. Yep.
And then what happens here is he takes my phone without a case on it and he chucks it across the street. See, there it falls in the middle of the street. And then that's Kaylin picking it up.
No!
Disgusting fuck pepper spray. No! I got it. Flush this. Right there.
All right.
I don't think there are other angles now.
Just stop.
You see Haley loading me in here so I can wash my face out. Some people were saying that's my stick that they stole. That's not my stick they stole. That's my microphone.
Right
Oh,
this is my jug that was water. We got a bunch of
Not my phone holder stick. They took that. And then they hand me water and I rinse my eyes out and Haley dabs. So that was that. I got pepper sprayed. I was down for about 10 minutes after being sprayed, and I got back up and went right back into the fray and continued filming. Now, there's a lot of talk because I've been repeatedly assaulted and attacked. There's been a lot of talk about if I'm a provocateur or if I go here to provoke and antagonize people so that they will attack me so that I can become the story and get more views and become famous. That's not my goal. Nobody wants to be pepper sprayed. It's not fun. It hurts a lot. The first time I got bear sprayed, it was one of the most excruciatingly painful things I'd ever been through. To this day, I think it's still one of the most painful. Being bear sprayed hurts. I was standing 10 feet away from the person. They shoot at such a high pressure they can explode your eyeballs. The bear spray. I got really lucky. I'm blind in one of my eyes. My left eye. If it was my right eye that got exploded, right, I'd be dead. Or not dead, but I'd be blind for the rest of my life. I mean, being blind, no go. Not fun, right? No, I don't go out and try to get pepper sprayed. Have you ever been pepper sprayed? Have you ever been pepper sprayed in a crowd full of people who want to hurt you? Imagine flying blind in a group of militants that you have known to attack you. No, I don't do that. Of course I don't do that. What kind of psychopath do you think I am? Like, I would have to be seriously crazy to want to do that. That's some jackass level stuff. No, I'm not doing that. Okay? This is what happens. I'll tell you exactly what happens. Okay? I care about my work. I care about my country. I care about getting the truth out. And when you attempt to get the truth out, and the truth makes other people look bad, and you're effective at getting the truth out, they will do whatever they can to prevent you from exposing that truth, even if it means harming you physically. And then lying about it. What they told me later was that I assaulted a woman. Let's just rewind that real quick. Let's run the tapes back real quick. You guys tell me if this is a woman or not.
Sidewalk.
Get the camera out of my face. Get that camera out of my face or else I'll take it from you.
It sure sounds like a woman, that's for sure. It's not a woman. It's a man pretending to be a woman, apparently. But they went around and told everybody that I hit a woman, which I didn't, by the way. I pushed the woman back after they went chest to chest with me, tried to take my phone, and threatened me. Okay, literally chest touching chest. Back up. I backed up as he came towards me. I backed up, and then I stopped backing up. I held my ground, and he went chest to chest with me and wouldn't back up, so I pushed him back. They said I hit a woman. And them going around telling everybody that I hit a woman, it's like, he hit a woman. He hit a woman? Oh, he hit a woman? And then I almost got jumped again because they said I hit a woman. They're liars. I didn't hit a woman. Okay? I didn't hit anybody, actually. I shoved somebody back in self-defense. Now, when I'm trying to get the truth out, one thing I'm not going to do is train these animals that intimidation and attacks work. Okay? So if somebody is progressing on me, if they are advancing on me, if they are moving towards me and touching me, I'm going to hold my ground. I'm not going to run away with my tail tucked between my legs, because what does that do? It teaches them that it works. And then it's not just me in danger, it's everybody who has the same occupation as me that's in danger. So I hold my ground and teach them that violence and intimidation does not work with me. Now imagine I was a female. I have lots of colleagues that are females. Imagine a little female having the same thing happen to her. Now that they know violence and intimidation works, what are they going to do to her? I'm not just putting myself at risk by teaching them that violence works. I'm putting everyone around me at risk by teaching them that violence works. So I teach them the opposite. They're like children or animals, whichever one you want to compare them to. Regardless, they work off of learned behavior. I'm the teacher. I'm the trainer. And what I'm going to train them is that violence doesn't scare me away. And so that's exactly what I do every time I go out there. I don't touch people unless they touch me first. I need to put distance between the two of us. I don't swing on people ever. In the entirety of the time that I have been a journalist, I have never punched somebody. I'm not going to teach them that violence works. Again, I don't punch people. I don't want to harm people. But if I absolutely have to, I will defend myself. Whether that's just putting distance between me and somebody else, or that's pepper spraying somebody. I've done that, right? You guys have seen it. It's happened. It's the same thing with the Fearless Tour, right? Why did we start the Fearless Tour? Well, I've been tabling at college campuses for years. You guys know this. Why did we start when we did? Well, the University of Washington, classes weren't in session yet. It was still summer session. Charlie got killed 2 days later. I was at the University of Washington tabling. Why was I there? Because they just killed our top guy. And I'm not going to show them that political violence is going to send me into a cave where I crawl up and hide. Violence, killing our people, is only going to make us do it more. It's only going to further incentivize me to go on college campuses and debate with people. Because we need to show them that violence doesn't work. That's exactly why we did it. Level 3 Gaming, thank you for the 999 super chat. I found one of them on TikTok. Which one? So that's why I went and did that. And then a couple days later, we started the Fearless Tour not long after that. So yeah, you can't let these people think that violence works. You can't let them scare you away. You can't let them put your tail between your legs and run away. All that will do is invite more violence. It's all it will do. Okay? It's all learned behavior. That's why they attack me. Because a lot of people don't have the balls to do that. A lot of people don't have the balls to stop in your tracks when somebody's advancing on you. And maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm just dumb. But I'm not going to teach them that works. Because it puts me in danger and it puts everyone else around me in danger. I'd rather take the hit in the moment than have a prolonged issue. Okay. It's also about defending rights, right? As a journalist, if I'm being told that I'm not welcome in certain places, or that I'm not allowed to be in certain places, I'm not allowed to walk in certain places that are public places, right? Sidewalks, roads, etc. If I'm told that I'm not allowed to be there, I'm not welcome there, etc., congratulations. Let me go grab my sleeping bag. I'm pitching a tent. Now this is mine now. You know, I'm moving in. This is where I'm at now. But it's also about defending rights. Okay. So like I said, if somebody says you're not allowed to be here, you're not welcome here on a public sidewalk or whatever it might be, public park, wherever. If somebody tells me that you're not welcome here, I'm doubling down. You know, like I said, I'm moving in now. Let me go grab my sleeping bag. I'm pitching a tent. This is where I live now. You know, I'm of course being metaphorical and hyperbolic, but what I mean to say is if I'm told that I'm not allowed to be somewhere as a citizen of the United States of America and as a journalist, now I'm just going to stay, right? Every time somebody tells me to leave, nope, well, I was going to leave, but I think now I'm just going to stay right here. Why? Because you want me to leave. And not only do you want me to leave, you're instructing me to leave, as if you have some kind of authority to tell me to leave. They did the same thing in the pro-Palestine encampments when I infiltrated those. When they would find me out or when I would reveal myself, they would say, leave. You need to leave right now. No, I don't think so. I was on my way out, but now I'm going to stop right in my tracks and stay right here. Why? Because I have a right to be here. And you are nobody to tell me that I can't be here on a public college campus or on a public sidewalk. In Portland, when they told me I wasn't allowed to walk down the sidewalk, when they would threaten me with violence because I would walk down a public sidewalk, again, 10 times harder. I'm 10 toes down now, standing on business. No, I'm an American citizen. I'm not going anywhere. I'm allowed to document on a public sidewalk wherever I want, whenever I want. You can't stop me from doing that. It's illegal for you to do that, right? But nobody's enforcing the law that prevents you from doing it, that prevents you from using violence to stop me from walking on a public sidewalk. So what am I going to do? I'm going to stand here and I'm going to wait for you to make a problem out of it. And when you do, then it will blow up and leave the police with no option but to respond. That's why people come after me. It's not because I'm a provocateur. So what I was going to say next is, am I a provocateur? Am I an agitator? Those terms are relative, right? What is provocation? They'll tell me I'm a provocateur. I'll say, well, how am I a provocateur? They say, you're a conservative. And I say, okay, so I'm a provocateur because I disagree with you. And they say, well, you're here. I say, okay, so I'm a provocateur because I exist and I exist here. And at that point, they don't know what to say because that's exactly what the provocation is. It's just that I am present. But what are they doing? What do they do outside of the Portland Ice facility all day? They stand outside of the Portland Ice facility and they say DHS doesn't have sex. They block the driveway. They waste millions of federal dollars blocking the driveway. They assault federal agents. They graffiti the building and say, kill cops. All cops are bastards. We've got the guillotine ready. They bring a guillotine outside the building. Is that not provocation? It sure seems like it's provocation. It certainly seems like it's agitation. So am I the agitator or are you the agitator? All I did was exist. Maybe try to have a conversation with you here and there. What did you do? You brought a guillotine. Okay? That's what I did. What did you do? You attacked journalists because they existed here and don't agree with you. That's what you did. I don't care if you want to call me a provocateur. Call me a provocateur all you want. I know what it means. Calling me a provocateur just means I don't agree with you. But newsflash, guys, check it out. We live in the United States of America. I'm allowed to disagree with you. I'm allowed to exist in the same place as you with a different opinion. So who's the agitator? It seems to me that they're the agitators. They're the provocateurs.